505 Motorsports. Thanks for checking out our channel. Today I do want to talk about my favorite top 5 things about buying a used car. Today we got a beautiful Infiniti QX56 behind us. I'm going to show you my favorite things and what to look for when you're buying a used car. Stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. We'll be right back. So if you dig cars like I do, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any upcoming videos. My 5th favorite trick to buying a used car has to be, make sure you check out the Carfax and the Autocheck. I personally am not a big fan of Carfax and Autocheck, but I'm going to tell you why I think it is important. There are certain things on these Carfaxes and Autocheck that would tell you, hey, this car was in a collision with a semi-truck. This car ran off a cliff. This car sank to the bottom of a lake. It could be as simple as no accidents reported, one owner, true mileage. It's very important that you learn the differences between what's real and what's not real on the Carfax and the Autocheck. So first things, check that out, do some research, find out, was it an accident severe as hitting a semi-truck, or was it something as simple as bumping into a pole at a gas station? There's a big difference. We're going to work our way down to my number 1 thing to check out. So make sure you stay with us. At the end of the video, I'll point out my number 1 thing for buying a used car. My number 4 tip of buying a used car is touch it, feel it, lick it. All right, so I probably wouldn't lick it, but touching it, feeling it, smelling it, very important ideas when you're out looking for a new, to you, used car. So the first thing I want to point out is paint. Obviously, factory paint comes with a nice finish on it. It's got a nice clear coat, polished finish, very smooth. This particular vehicle has a lot of nice pearl clear coat in it. So run your hand on it, feel the paint. Is it smooth from one panel to the next? Can you just transition from this door to this door and get an idea of how smooth it is? If you come from here and all of a sudden it's rough and sticky, it doesn't transition well, there's probably something going on maybe with this door. Had it been in an accident, had it been keyed up, had it been scratched, they went and did some refinish work on it, it's always a good idea to check that out. So checking out the paint, feeling it, and along those lines, when you open the door here, it's always a good idea. Do you see any transition lines in here? Are there paint stripes? Did they mask this off? Can you see anything in here that would give you an idea? And there's also an NADA, a Nader sticker that's down in here. So if you don't see the sticker down in the bottom that has maybe the barcode on it, the year, the mile, I'm sorry, not miles, the year and make and all the codes, if that's not there, something's gone wrong with this vehicle. You want to check it out and make sure. So that's tip number 4. Stay with me and I'll be back for more. The third thing that I want to discuss that I've learned in the 27 years of me being in this business, I have a little philosophy. When I look for a nice used car, I look at the interior. How well have somebody taken care of the interior? The interior of this car is in really good shape. So this is a 2012. This particular car has 109,000 miles on it. If you just got in this car, you'd have no idea. It looks almost brand new. Somebody's really done a good job to make sure. No stains, no rips, no tears. There's a nice oil change placard up here on the windshield. The next oil change is due in about 3,000 miles. So these are little things that I look for when I buy a car. Usually when somebody takes care of the interior of the car, they've really taken care of everything else. One more little secret you might want to look for that I look for when I'm buying a used car, I look at the tires. Do they have good tires? Do they have chintzy tires? Do they have Goodyears, Michelins, Continentals, Pirellis? Those are some of the more expensive vehicle tires that you can buy out there in the marketplace. People who spend the money, buy those high-end tires, they're taking care of their cars. Now, that's not to say that if we find a tire that's not as good or maybe a cheaper knockoff brand, it's just when I see those newer tires, the brand name tires, that's a car that I know somebody has spent the extra money to take care of, and it's going to get them down the road for a long time. So stay tuned. I'll be back for my next pointer. Okay, my number 2 tip when it comes to buying a used car is let's make sure you're not getting screwed on the price. Let's talk price, value, how much value this car is going to retain over the years, how many miles you plan on putting on this car over the next however many years you're going to keep the car. A lot of people buy a car for a short-term purchase. They buy them for a long-term purchase. You want to take all that into consideration on when purchasing a car, the price you're going to pay for the car, and the relevance of what the book value is on that car. So there's several marketplaces that you can go to and search out values. You've got NADA, you've got Kelley Blue Book, you've got Edmunds, you've got online sources like Car Gurus, which I highly recommend is a great buying site for cars. Cars off of my website, 505 Motorsports, automatically lead to Car Gurus. They'll tell you if you're buying a car that is good price, great price, bad price, overpriced. So go and do your research. Make sure that you're buying a car somewhere between a wholesale book and a retail book. That's a very fair negotiation price between somebody like myself, a dealer, and somebody like a retail customer. It's fair to be right in the middle of those spots. So lots of locations, lots of areas. Call me, call 505 Motorsports with any of your questions. If you have a car and you want to know, hey, is this a good value? We'll help you. We'll look it up. We don't think that we're the only car lot in the country that can sell somebody a car, but I do want to make sure that everybody gets treated fairly and that you have the resources at hand to make sure you're getting a good deal when purchasing a used car. Stay tuned. I'll be right back with my number 1 thing for you to purchase a used car. Okay, thanks for staying with me for my last and final number 1 tip on buying a used car. Make sure you're buying a car that works for you. Make sure you're buying a car you like. Make sure you're buying a car that fits your needs. So many times I see customers that come to me and say, hey, I just bought this car about 2 months ago and I need to get out of it. My family's growing. I'm marrying somebody who has 3 kids and I can no longer fit my family in this Corvette. It doesn't make sense. People come to me, I'm upside down. What does upside down mean? Upside down means I financed this car for 5 years and I already want to get out of it after 6 months of ownership. You're probably not going to get out of that car in 6 months of ownership if you financed it for 5 years. Lots of things to think about. Are you going to pay cash? Are you going to finance it long term, short term? What's your interest rate? No matter what, if you're going to finance a car, you're probably going to be in that car for at least the term that you financed the car. So don't plan on getting out of that car early and walking away with money in your pocket unless you had a large down payment. Cars are not typically gaining an asset. It's typically a depreciating asset. You're using it. You're putting mileage on it. It's usage, wear and tear. You've got parts that wear out. You've got to make repairs to it. Make sure you like the car that you're going to commit to. Buying a car is very much an impulsive part of what people come up with. So if your impulsiveness is, I sure love the color of that car, and you buy that car and soon realize, hey, this thing's only getting 8 miles to the gallon, I want to get out of it. But you just financed it for 5 years, it might be a little tricky to get out of it. Make sure you like the car you're buying, make sure it suits your needs, it fits your family. That really would be my number 1 key to buying a car. Thank you guys for checking out 505 Motorsports. Click the button that says like and subscribe. If you have any questions, contact us at 505 Motorsports. We'll be happy to put you in the next car that works for you and your family.